I don't know how to answer this. I'm not used to talking in silence. So like I want to do like this story time thing, but I feel like my life is interesting enough to talk about. I don't know. I kind of just want to ramble, if you feel me. Like when you ramble to people you talk to all the time, it's like, yeah. But I wanted to talk about my first heart attack. I'm only 24, right? And I've already had more than one. I've only had two, but we'll talk about the first one for now. And I think I just want to talk about it, because I just want to like just explain to people, especially like, because I'm not in bad shape or anything. My heart attack came from more like a genetic reason. It's like sudden. It wasn't like I knew something was wrong with me or doctors knew. It just happened. And it wasn't like I had signs. It was really sudden. Like, and I just want to talk to people, the like, you know, the maybe some warning signs, because I think there was, in my opinion, warning signs about it coming. So it happened in 2023 in March, and to be honest, the day before it happened, I was having, so the night before I went to sleep, I was having chest pain. But it wasn't like it, because I have esophagus spasms. So esophagus spasms, most people don't have them, or if they have them, it's not as severe as I have them, and they could feel like having a heart attack. I had esophagus spasms so bad I thought I was, and I was kind of born with it, so esophagus spasms didn't bother me that much. They're really painful, and sometimes you lose the ability to swallow. Kind of sucks, but it only lasts 20 minutes. But it almost feels like you're being punched in the chest if you have the esophagus spasm before. And the problem with esophagus spasms that can mimic heart attacks is you'll feel out of breath, your heart rate can rise. Like, I would have a heart rate of 180 when I'm having esophagus spasms. No joke. It, like, if you haven't had a heart rate higher than like 140, it's hard to understand the feeling of it, because anything past 170, and it almost feels like your heart's not beating at all because it's beating so fast. It's like it's like fluttering in your chest, and that only happened once in a great, like, because of I don't know how to explain it, like, because I'm still being tested for it to this day, because it's very random when it happens, and I'm on a few medications on my heart condition because they don't kind of know what's wrong with me. It could be because of the esophagus spasms that's causing it, but yeah. But my resting heart rate before medication was about 120. And let's point out, I'm a very, very small dude. I weigh 120 pounds, and no, I am not starving or anything. I literally just can't gain weight. I can eat whatever I want. It literally fucking passes through me, dude. It kind of sucks because I did try to gain weight. It's not happening. I can eat like 3,000 calories a day and be just fine. I think the only reason I don't like eating too much is because I will start to heat up real bad after eating way too much in a single day, and it's just a little uncomfortable. But my heart rate has always been naturally higher than normal. Now, on a good day, my resting heart rate will usually sit around 190, and like anything below 100 is good to a point. But at my age, at 20 to 18 to 60, no, it's not. I don't think doctors notice that much because I rarely went to the doctor. I was grown in a very, very poor family. Like, unless we were dying, doctor was not on the table. It wasn't happening. No, that and getting to the doctor was hard because the doctor's place used to be very close to where we live, and it kind of disappeared, and it moved like literally to the next city over for some fucking reason, and it kind of became a pain in the ass to deal with. And I know it's sort of rambling, but I think I just need to talk about how I was feeling up to this point. Because I have been in a few situations where death situations where I was close to dying, but not. So, to be honest, death does not scare me. It does not frighten me in a little bit. Not even a little. When I was suffering my first heart attack, I woke up and I felt fine. I felt, to be honest, I felt amazing. I got up, I felt like there was nothing wrong. That's how sudden this was too. I got up, I felt fine. I got up, the first thing I do when I get up in the morning, I drink a whole cup of water immediately. I sweat a lot in my sleep, unfortunately. So I'm really dehydrated when I get up. I toss a whole cup of water and I get in the shower. And when I was in the shower, it was really sudden too. I just had like, I don't know how to explain it. It almost felt like my heart stopped. It was like, it felt like it beat twice. It felt like there was a second beat happening. And everything got really dark for a second. And I don't know if it was like the slight like adrenaline rush I was having. That like, I don't know if my heart was just beating it correctly because of what was happening in it, like it was dying off or something. But I got like this rush and the darkness kind of started fading. It wasn't instant. I fell to the bathroom floor. And I think what worried me the most was is I was home alone. Like no one here, by myself. I'm chilling. And like something does happen. But weirdly enough, I thought it was like another esophagus spasm. I didn't think it was a heart attack at first. I thought it was like, oh shit, another esophagus spasm. Maybe the vision was from like the hot shower and stuff and the increased heart rate. You know, sometimes when you get increased heart rate, you get dizzy and stuff. So like, I didn't overthink it at first. And so I immediately got out of the shower because I'm like, if something, you know, I gotta get out, gotta go sit down. And you know, relax a little bit, because esophagus spasms, the worst thing you could do is just like, especially be in a hot shower, be in a hot place. And I sat on the couch and I felt my heart rate go, and I'm like, you know what, that's fine, it's normal. And I take the heart rate monitor and it was at 220. And okay, 180, 170, okay, it's high, but I've been there before. It was past 200, and I looked at it, and I'm not gonna lie, I was like, that's not good. I didn't panic. So I used to panic. I used to have severe panic attacks back in the day. I used to, because when you had esophagus spasm and stuff, I used to have severe panic attacks because it almost feels like you're dying when you're having one sometimes. So I have mastered not to panic. I have mastered that panicking makes things worse. And I think a lot of people need to understand about panic attacks and stuff. I can explain them because I used to get them really fucking bad. I was on 3 medication for them. I'm on no medications now. I have mastered panic attacks. Like, I mastered them and I stayed calm. I was like, because panic attacks, if you already have a high heart rate, if you start having a panic attack, dude, that shit goes through the roof. You're gonna raise your blood pressure. You're probably gonna do damage to your heart. I've had panic attacks so bad before. I've had enzymes leak from my heart before. Not much. It was only 400. So it wasn't that high. But I've had it before. So I know sometimes you need to relax. So I sat on the couch. I literally waited like 30 minutes. Like I was sitting there waiting. I was a little bit out of breath, but because I've learned how to control my breathing and stuff, I was like, okay, I can do this. And I decided to get up and take some aspirin. I don't know if that helped. I don't know if that like delayed any extra damage. I took some baby aspirin. I only took 4. Like, I know 4 is a lot for baby aspirin and stuff, but I just take 4. And I don't take aspirin often. It's a very rare thing I take. I only usually take it for headaches, and usually that do. But like if I'm having severe chest pain, weirdly enough, if I pop a few aspirin, it usually goes away. And to be honest, I don't know what caused it, but when I took that aspirin, I took it, and not even a minute later, I started getting another spasm in my chest. And I'm pretty sure it was my esophagus this time instead of my heart, but I think the stress was causing my esophagus to start to spasm. And let me tell you guys, if you have severe esophagus spasms and you take aspirin, you need to understand that aspirin will cause them to get severely worse suddenly. It's not like aspirin dissolves fast in water and shit, dude. That shit goes through. And I didn't really know it causes issues, so like I was like, you know what, I had a spasm, and at that point I called 911, right? Because after the spasm and stuff, I was like, something is wrong, because the spasm felt way different than my heart, the heart thing I had. And because I just woke up, I didn't think about how it felt. I just assumed it was, and it felt way different. And I was like, you know what, I should probably call an ambulance. To be honest, it was a good thing, because I was just probably gonna wait it out, and that probably would have killed me. I was just debating about waiting it out. If I didn't take that aspirin, I probably would have kicked it on that couch. But at this time, still, I didn't think I was having a heart attack. I thought I was having some like severe esophagus spasms. Like I thought I was having like top-notch, something is wrong with my esophagus. And I was like, okay, I need to go to the hospital, make sure everything's okay, because if I lose the ability to swallow, I'm not gonna get anything in me. I'm not gonna get water, I'm not gonna get nutrients, I'm gonna start to dehydrate real fast. So I decided to go. And I walked in the ambulance, right? And I got in. I even walked, I was like, I'm fine and stuff. And they started hooking me up. They're like, I was telling them I was having chest pain, I was having spasms, and they looked at my heart rate, it was at 170, and they're like, we have to do a, what's it called? I've had so many of them, I can't remember. And they hooked these things up to my chest, they placed these sticky pads on me, and they looked at it. It was like something in the left ventricle, if I remember. And they were like, I forget what exactly it was. See, like, we think you're having a heart attack. And I looked down, like, no, I get readings from those things once in a while, and they usually come out false. Because when you're having esophagus spasms, sometimes your heart will beat a little weirdly, and it could show like that. It's not the first time I've had a left ventricle, like, thing show up on a test before. So, like, I wasn't even, like, worried. I was like, yeah, it's not the first time that it's happened. And he didn't look confident, because I couldn't see myself. And my hands were going a little, like, numb, like, tingly. But it wasn't anything bad. It was just, like, tingly. And, you know, if you had severe panic attacks before, you know what that feels like. It's uncomfortable. Run some hot water over your hands, usually goes away by then. But my hands were feeling tingly up to this point. But I didn't think about it. My heart rate's been a little high for the last 20 minutes. So, like, you know, blood flow to my hands and legs, you know. And halfway to the hospital, I was having, like, I don't know how to explain it. My face felt like it was going paralyzed. I couldn't feel my face almost. It was weird. It felt like the muscles in my face, like, couldn't contract anymore. But at the same time, didn't overthink it. I was like, signs of, like, high heart rate, panic attack. It's not the first time I've had it. It just, it was more severe than when I've had it, like, in the past before. I showed up to the hospital and stuff, and you know, they get me in, and they immediately started testing me, like, on the spot. Like it wasn't like they waited or anything. They immediately started testing me, like. Also, in the ambulance, this is what pissed me off the most. I know it's a weird complaint, because the ambulance were trying their best. They were, like, really worried. They were rushing, I get it. They blew out. So instead of putting, I'm lifting up my arm like you can see it, but instead of putting a vein in the place they always put it, they tried to put an IV in the vein to the left of my fucking elbow, and they blew it. And I took 4 aspirin, dude, and they blew this vein. Dude, I've had veins blow in my hands before. This elbow vein, dude, it hurt so fucking much. Like, I think it bothered me the most than the chest pain was. It like hurt. And you could, it started to bruise immediately. Like the next day, dude, that shit was like, and I got in, they started testing me hard, and the lady walked in, he's like, well, for sure you're having a heart attack. And I was like, what? You sure? She's like, yes. And this guy nurse comes over. I was like, I already had 4 aspirin. He's like, okay. And he hands me 5 more baby aspirin. He's like, take these immediately. And I took them. And immediately after that, they took me to the upstairs. I don't know what it's called, to be honest. I don't want to call it intensive care, but they like moved me upstairs to the other rooms, and they put me on this one blood thinner. Like they told me not to get up. If you fall, let us know immediately. You could bleed out. It was IV'd into me. I think I hated it the most, to be honest. But at this point, in my personal opinion, I still felt fine. And it's not like I stayed fine forever. Weirdly enough, when I got up to the room and everyone left, I started to cry. And it's not like, I think it was out of frustration. Because I've had a lot of medical issues before. Like I've had a lot of medical problems, especially when it comes to like health. Like, cause my mom was like, I love her still, but when we were growing up, or when I was in the room, she was a severe drug addict. So I know there's some things wrong with me. Like, I'm missing a little part of my brain. Like, it didn't form when I was being grown inside of her. So weirdly enough, that's where part of my speech impediment comes from. And so I cried in frustration. Like, I was so upset, but I don't know if they didn't do any surgery or anything. It wasn't that major. They said this, I don't know what type of heart attack it was. It was hard to explain. It was like a small blood clot, but they didn't have to go in. I guess whatever they gave me broke it up. Like, it wasn't a major one. It wasn't like a major heart attack. It wasn't like I should be worried. If I probably wouldn't let it sat for like hours, like I could have probably been fine for hours without treatment. They said because my heart rate is naturally high and I have esophagus spasm, it just made it worse. And to be honest, it's hard to explain because at first when they were explaining, I'm like, did I have a heart attack? Because usually you get surgery or they pull stuff out of you and stuff. I never heard like it being stopped with just medication. And I know it sounds weird, right? Because like the hospital I went was like the regional, like it was the heart attack place. Oh yeah, I wanted to go back there for episodes. But they kept me in the hospital for 7 whole days. 7 days. They ran tests on me because they don't understand why it happened at all. They didn't. They didn't understand why it happened. They couldn't figure out why it happened. They knew I had one because my levels were like elevated to the high. They tried tests. They tried, first they did a bunch of CT scans and stuff. They gave me contrast to like look at the blood vessels and stuff. Then they did this test where they had you, okay, so this test is crazy, dude. I don't know what the drug was, and I wish I asked. So what they do is they strap you up to like a fancy heart monitor and stuff, and they shoot you up with this drug, and so what this drug does, it makes it like your body ran a marathon. When this shit hit me, it was instant. Your heart, it spikes your heart rate. You start breathing heavily, dude. You feel exhausted too, dude. They gave me this shit. They put it in me, and immediately after they put it in me, I felt like I could run. Like they put it in me, dude, and I just wanted to go. Like, not a bad way, not like I need to escape, more like, damn, dude, I just need to, like, it was almost like getting a high. It did not last long. Let me tell you, it lasted like a minute and a half. Dude, I felt like I could kill someone, dude. I felt like I could get away with anything. They shot me up, dude, and I had so much adrenaline in me. And weirdly enough, that test came out weird. It came out normal, but at the same time, the one person was like, is that normal? It's like, the doctor was like, yeah. And they couldn't figure out to this day what happened. Like, what caused it. They have like theories and stuff, and I'm still going to test. I've been to 2 different heart doctors, and it's not like so lately I've been having these attacks a little more. I've been having high heart rate randomly. I'm on melatonin and I'm on nitroglycerin, and let me tell you about those 2 drugs. I'm 24, and having 2 drugs that lower your heart rate, well, okay, nitroglycerin doesn't lower your heart rate. It lowers your blood pressure. It makes it so your heart has to beat less. It makes your blood vessels bigger, so your heart has to beat less. And they gave me melatonin, and what melatonin does is just lowers your heart rate. And I take both of these.
Anyone else getting a bit hungry?
And let me tell you something. Melatonin, I didn't have any issues with, to be honest. I like the drug. I like it a lot. It does lower my heart rate. My heart rate's at the lowest it's ever been in my entire life. Like, the lowest it gets to is like 60. Dude, we balling over here, right? Nitroglycerin though, for people who are taking it for the first time, the first 2 weeks are going to fucking suck, okay? You're going to get these migraines or these headaches. And let me tell you something. I promise you, nothing you do will make the headache feel good. Nothing. You're going to feel horrible. You're going to just feel horrible, dude. And so you're gonna have migraines. Your eyes are gonna hurt sometimes. I've only had eye pain twice the first 2 weeks. It's not bad. It's not the eye pain itself. It's the light sensitivity you'll get. You'll fucking, dude. If I could strip the sun out of the sky and toss it into another galaxy, I would. Dude, when the sunlight peeked through the window the second day I was on it, dude, I wanted to fucking toss that shit, dude. I was like, time to get rid of it, dude. After 2 weeks though, no side effects. You'll feel fine. Now, with both these medications though, I recommend trying to stick to a solid schedule. Especially with nitroglycerin, no, if you miss it by like a day, just hypothetically, because I missed it once in my life. If you miss it by a day, usually you'll be fine. Melatonin though, you don't want to miss. You make sure that shit is filled on time. You make sure you take it every day at the same time. If you're an hour late, that's okay. If you need to take it an hour early, go for it, right? You don't want to miss that stuff. I have never missed it before, but I've been like hours from missing it, and I don't feel well missing that even for a few hours. I feel horrible. But other than that, yeah. To be honest, I was out. I wasn't in there long. They only kept me 7 days, and I was out, and I felt fine afterwards. I felt really sluggish though, weirdly enough. Like, I didn't want to do anything at all. And I felt horrible the whole fucking time. But I recommend, if you think there's something wrong with you and the doctor tells you no, it's okay to go get a second opinion. Because when I was growing up, like when I turned about 18, I thought I had a heart issue. So I was having panic attacks, but I think I was having panic attacks because of my heart issue. Because I wasn't having them until I got older, but my panic attacks came on like suddenly. But I think I'll talk about more panic attacks in a different video because I have a lot to say on them. I have a lot of experiences. I've been on a lot of medications for depression and stuff. So like I know what's up, and I know like I know a lot. I have a lot more info than like some people, and I think I have a lot of info to give other people about them. So I think I'll probably talk that next because I think I would like to help people because I understand what a panic attack feels. I completely understand the fear of needing to run, the fear of like I'm not scared of death, but for some reason when you're having a panic attack, that rational feeling of not being afraid of death goes away. It's crazy. 1 second you'd be like, oh, I don't give a fuck, dude, like, you know, because we're all doomed to die eventually. Like there's no point, like, but for some reason when you're having a panic attack, that feel of dying is so overwhelming that you convince yourself you're going to. That's what I think people don't understand about it. But I'll talk about that more in the next video. Yes, so until next time, my groovy friends.